AC Sports Live, coming to you live from Las Vegas on this wonderful Tuesday night. We would start off with high school track, but I guess we got to start off with NBA playoff action because the T-Wolves just extended the playoffs. Maybe one more game, or maybe this will be the first time ever a team comes back from 0-3. Wouldn't that be amazing? Comes back to what is really going on. What makes a superstar not aggressive? With Kyrie being 14-0 in closeout games, all of a sudden he's not aggressive. Are you concerned, or is that just me? I'm AC. This is AC Sports Live. High school track and field state championships last week. Proud Jackrabbit here. The boys bring home the championship. And across the way, the rival Long Beach Wilson girls bring home their second title in 2 years. The NBA, once again, the playoffs are in the thick of it. The WNBA, Houston, we have a problem. What you say, Chuck? The players are being petty? The stars of the WNBA are not letting the rookies shine. We got proof. We'll have a tribute to the big redhead, UCLA legend, NBA legend, Basketball Hall of Famer Bill Walton has passed away at the age of 71. We'll give him his flowers.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. Ha ha. Showtime, Roops. It is showtime. The NBA, man, it makes you wonder. Is it all good, or is it somewhat scripted? Think about it. The T-Wolves pull out a win to avoid the sweep. We're all getting ready for a Kyrie versus Celtics matchup, which will be epic. We all want to see it. But remember what kind of trouble Kyrie was in with the anti-Semitism situation and all the things he had to do to get back in the good graces of the NBA and the Jewish community. Ant-Man being the new face temporarily. Baby Jordan, some say, goes down 0-3, facing the sweep. Has a monster game. I believe a assist short of a triple-double. It's the passing of the guard time in the NBA. What's going to happen in the near future? We thought the face was going to be John Morant. That didn't happen. John Morant couldn't get out of his own way. And then you have this charismatic, lovable, incredible shot maker, heart of a lion kid out of Georgia, number 1 pick overall, American. The NBA can make things happen. I'm not saying it's fixed, but wouldn't it be an incredible story if the new face of the NBA, this new, fresh, wide-eyed, bushy-tailed, well-spoken, great kid raised by his grandma and mother, and the great story of Ant-Man becomes the first player to ever come back from 3-0 to make it to the NBA Finals instead of Kyrie Irving and Luka Doncic, who have played well enough to win the West. But what is the storyline that the NBA wants? The NBA always wants the Celtics versus Lakers. They ain't get that. The Lakers are too old. But you have this story in Minnesota, and you have this other story in Dallas. Both stories are very intriguing, but what do the powers that be want? the natural villain in Kyrie Irving, because America painted Kyrie as a villain because of his anti-vax statements, his quote-unquote anti-Semitic statements were, in my opinion, kind of laughable, because you really can't be anti-Semitic when you're Semitic. With that being said, I think we've forgiven Kyrie. He's a great young man. He's a great husband, a great father. He stays to himself, doesn't party, doesn't act crazy. Very articulate, very smart, went to Duke. Probably smarter than a lot of us. He's probably just as smart as Jaylen Brown for the Boston Celtics. Very smart kid. But what storyline does the NBA want? I don't know. We'll see. But right now, it's 3-1. Going back to Minnesota. And it will be interesting. Will we see the T-Wolves shock the world, or will we see arguably the best offensive backcourt in the history of the NBA? That's the topic of discussion. Since now we have more of a series to talk about, that's what we were discussing all week long. James Mack, good evening, sir. Rubio said, personality and talent beats just talent over and over and over again. Let's stretch this out, because we're going to have some people who write some books in here. I'm pretty sure someone's going to write a book in here. So I need to stretch this out as far as I can. Stretch this out just a little further. That's as far as it's going to go. All right. Hard work beats talent. But talent with hard work is hard to beat. Sherwin Amos, good evening, my good brother. So the question is this the best backcourt ever? And some people were losing it because it's too soon. And backcourt meaning guards. Not necessarily point guard, but guards, not forwards and centers. The front court are the bigs. Backcourt, guards. So you can lump LeBron James in there, Kevin Durant, because Kevin Durant is not really a 4 or a 5. He'll be a small forward, but the way he gets the ball on the wing majority of the time qualifies him as a guard, and he handles the ball. He hardly ever gets the ball on the block. But even with that being said, LeBron James, Dwayne Wade, Steph Curry, Klay Thompson, Byron Scott, Magic Johnson, and you go by championships, Joe Dumars, Zeke. Offensively gifted, no doubt. Skills, no doubt. Kyrie Irving might be the most skilled 2-guard next to Kobe Bryant as far as having a bag, an endless bag, which is always troubling when Kyrie only shoots the ball 16 times. He needs to shoot the ball 25 times a game, as Luka does. Going back to my conspiracy theory that the NBA wants the best matchup. And they're taking like focus group tally of who they would like to see in the championship, who will bring them most ratings. Because it's all about money, man. It's always about money. Storyline. The NBA is fantastic. Remember that? The NBA is fantastic. They give their fans what they want. They gave the Lakers the in-season tournament. It made you believe in LeBron again. When we got to the playoffs, we thought we were going to see Boston versus the Nuggets. But the Nuggets are kind of boring. You got Jamal Murray, who's never been to the All-Star game. You have an MVP who's reluctant to be a star. Not very sexy. Nobody really wants to see that. You have a Boston team who's on on the verge of being the best they can be since the Bird era, but you can't get a healthy Porzingis to play more than 5 games in a row. This extra wait time with Minnesota extending the series gives Porzingis more time to get healed up. Isn't that interesting? Isn't that an interesting little tidbit right there? It's all lining up for the stars, man. This focus group meeting they're going to have, who do we want in the championship? Rubio said Jordan Pippen. Definitely. I think Pippen being able to guard 1 through 4. He's more of the LeBron James point forward guy, where he too can qualify as a point guard. Jordan is forever a shooting guard. He's a shooting guard. I don't think he ever averaged more than 10 assists. But hard to say. Guys that were on the backcourt majority of the time are backcourt players. So Kyrie and Luka. Luka being probably the best player in this series thus far. Maybe in the playoffs thus far. Well, we don't really know how old Luka really is. They say Luka is 24, 25. We don't know. He's built like a 35-year-old. He's built like an old man. He's a trained, super strong. Who knows? I know one thing. There's a video circulating of a 12-year-old who looks like Giannis, and they're saying this 12-year-old is going to be the next. I'm like, that kid ain't 12. That kid is 15, 17, maybe 18U. So we need to knock that off. Luka and Kyrie will be one of the best duos in the history of the game if they win 3 championships together. Otherwise, it's just a great duo. Taking away the backcourt part of it, just great duos. They'll be just like John Stockton and Karl Malone. 2 Hall of Famers who never won a championship. They have a chance this year to win one. But they have to win this series. Cannot go up 3-0 and be the first team in history to lose after being up 3-0. The Golden State Warriors, their legacy is tarnished because they are the team who lost up 3-1 to a then best player in the universe, LeBron James. This year, the Mavericks are looking at the new emerging face of the NBA, who's not afraid of the moment, who hit a very big shot to solidify a 5-point lead, and then Naz Reid's inbounds layup creates a 7-point lead. And the amazing Luka Doncic's 4-point shot, where he misses the free throw after the 3-point shot, which kind of changed the outcome, which was still going to be unsurmountable. But man, the NBA is still fantastic, man. Mac Man in here. Don't let the Bron haters hear you say that. The Bron haters got to recognize that Bron is about to mess up the draft. Because Bronny James is going to get drafted way higher than he deserves. And it's all because dad might follow him. It ain't fair to those kids who played 4 years of college, average 25 points a game, 12 rebounds, 7 assists in college, and you're going to be probably go undrafted. While Richie Rich over here averages 2 points a game, 3 rebounds, 2 steals, has a pretty good pro camp, and might go number 1 overall. If not number 1, he will go number 22 to the Suns. It's gonna be some mad folks in the world of basketball in a couple weeks. But what can you really be mad at? That's LeBron James. LeBron James, if I had the video, I'd play it for you. Rubio sent me a text. What's this one about? Oh, Charles Barkley. We really live in a world where the 2 best basketball players on the planet are slightly overweight white guys. What a time to be alive. He sent me a picture of Luka and the MVP. Can't really see it because yeah, you saw those pictures on yeah. Can't run, can't jump, but are the best basketball players. Going back to 2 weeks, our argument about football players versus basketball players. How athletic do you have to be to play basketball? You have to be very skilled, but you don't have to be very athletic at all. I bet you money that Luka runs a 5'4" flat 40. And Joker might run a 6 flat 40. So don't tell me you can line those guys up on the line and let them go out for a pass route. And it wouldn't be clamps. You'll see guys doing this all day. It's like when Draymond went to tight end, all day. Clamps. Bad body, but can they hoop? Man. Those what we say, Jim Mack, those are bad white boys. That's a bad white boy. Mac says, if you had a son and had an opportunity to get him a job, would you? Absolutely. I'm not mad at LeBron James. But the truth of the matter is, that's why your son's gonna get drafted. You. I'm concerned about Bronny. When Bronny is an afterthought in this whole thing, will Bronny get a legitimate chance to play and prove he belongs? Or will he wash away with the C in the G League, never to be heard from again? He's not signing a two-way deal. You have to use what you got. We talk about it all the time, Mac. UCLA degree means nothing without networking. You must know someone. Every good job that I've gotten that pays handsomely was a hookup. There I said it. There I said it. You need a hookup in this world, in this life. You better be prayed up. You need God's favor on your life, and you need to know somebody that knows somebody that's going to pull your resume. In this case, LeBron James ain't got to pull no resume. The kid's name is James Jr. It's over with for all you suckers. Oh no. Rubio sent it to me. Oh no. Oh no. Is it true? There he is. Whose kid is that? That kid, I need to see his grades. I need to see that kid's grades. He goes famous for saying LeBron James. I love that kid. I love that kid. Absolutely, absolutely, Mac. You make a phone call for your kid. Sherman said it's sad. This is the weakest draft in a long time. Take him number one. None of these kids in the draft are going to change your franchise like LeBron James Jr. is going to change. Why not? The Atlanta Hawks will be foolish not to try to kick the tires on LeBron James. Manny Pacquiao bought a basketball team and signed himself to play point guard. That's what I'm talking about. That's what you use. You use what you got to get what you want. What's wrong with that? Nothing. That's genius. That's like Jackie Moon in semi-pro. He owns the team. Of course he's starting. Brewster's Millions, Richard Pryor, great flick. Bought a team. Couldn't tell him where the money came from. Couldn't tell him he had to spend the money in 30 days. Bought a team. He gets to pitch versus the Yankees, even though he's old and can't pitch. I ain't gonna say what needs to be said, but there's a reason why Luka and Joker appear to be so good. Uh-oh. Sherwin, don't open up a can halfway. You got to open it all the way up for the people in the back to smell it. If it's a sardine can, the stench will come out. We have to go ahead and open it up and see what's in it. He will get more than enough shots, but can he capitalize on any of them with his ability and not his name? Bronny can shoot it. I think Bronny will be a good pro if he played 3 more years of college. because he can shoot it. He can play good defense. He's athletic. So he can be somebody's like Mario Chalmers type of guy. He could be somebody's 3-and-D, come off the bench. Like there's a couple of guys tonight that played for the Mavericks I never seen before. He could be one of them dudes. A spark guy. I believe there's a guy on the Knicks had a guy that came off the bench, McBride. All he did was shoot a couple threes, play good defense, very reliable. There's a chance for LeBron James Jr., Bronny. And I felt him in his interviews when he said, I just want to give it my all. I want to have a chance to prove that I can play. We will see. McMahon said these players are all cookie cutter. That's why they can't be franchise changers. I would blame AAU basketball. The kids overseas know how to play team basketball. So the first 3 picks are going to be European players, if not Bronny James. And Bronny James knows how to play. We watched Bronny James play at Sierra Canyon in high school. He didn't come off the bench because he played the right way. He didn't hot dog the ball. He passed the ball. He took care of the ball. He turned the ball over. He came set the bench. AAU basketball, you can do whatever you want to do. Turn it over, shoot threes. The LaMelo ball, Lonzo ball, Jello ball. You see they won the state championship a couple years? Just shooting the ball from half court. McMahon says, say it, Sherwin. Say it. Say it with your chest. That's the only rule of this show is say it with your chest. You brought it up. What they won't say that might get us all canceled. You totally dated yourself with Brewster's Millions. And I love it. Rest in peace, John Candy and Richard Pryor. Brewster's Millions is one of the most underrated films. Simple film, but classic. Nonetheless, man. The Bulls, where were they from? What was that? The New York Bulls? The New Jersey Bulls? What was the name? What was the city they played in? Chicago Bulls? Couldn't have been the Chicago Bulls. I know they were the Bulls. Nimyard of the Pacers. Who was he? Where did he come from? I know he kept getting the ball ripped, and I know he got his shot blocked when it was crunch time. And shame on Halliburton. How you not gonna play in a closeout game and you on the sideline clapping and running around in your sweatshirt and your glasses? You just lost all your little cool points real quick, man. Get out there and play. Luka's hurt. It's on defense, he's hurt. Sherman says, I gotta keep it politically correct. All right, come in here as an anonymous user and say what's on your mind. Like Rubio would say, let it rain, daddy. What are you trying to say? Brewster's Millions was crazy. That Hackensack Bulls. That's what it was. Where is Hackensack? In New York? I thought they was in New York or Chicago with them high-rise buildings. They changed the rules for them because they were no longer able to really compete. Whoa. Wow. They changed the rules for the slow white players from Europe. So it's the opposite of what No Chill Gill said. The Europeans have ruined the game. So the NBA's made an adjustment. Wow. It's like that. Is there some truth to that? Because we're able to see Luka is unstoppable. You couple what Luka does with some athleticism, you get Kyrie Irving. Another unstoppable force. Except Kyrie has quickness on top of skill and craftiness and a left-hand floater. And Joker, being a 3-time MVP, with no athletic ability, can't jump, can't run, but is the best basketball player in the world, it's hard to imagine. It's hard to imagine. Yeah, Sherwin, you dropped one tonight, man. You're the winner tonight. You the guest of the night. Max said it's Hackensack, New Jersey. I have never been. I never looked to be. So the NBA, man, we got the Celtics waiting. Shout out to Jaylen Brown for winning the MVP of the Eastern Conference Finals over Jason Tatum. I think it was a good selection because Jaylen Brown played hard. And Tatum did average a point more over the series. But if it wasn't for Jaylen Brown's three-point shot in that corner, where would we be? I think we'd probably be the same place, but dramatics. Shake things up a little bit. Make Tatum play harder. Because before John Morant, they wanted Tatum to be the face of the NBA. But Tatum would always go away when it was time to be clutch. LOL. To take that when they haven't called a true rules game over 20 years. Call a game like they would in the 80s and whistles would be blown out by the half. Hey, there's your argument. Next time I'm in the New York, New Jersey area, I'm going to visit Hackensack. I promise you it ain't even there no more. It's gone. So Rubio says, the rules are the rules. They haven't called the travel in 35 years. They just stopped calling hand checking, offensive kicking, defensive 3 seconds. The gather on the Euro step is now unrealistic. The one step, hop step, up and under, up and through used to be traveling. Now you're allowed to kind of make it uncertain what your pivot foot is. Oh, here we go. I got my resident referee in here to clear things up. Sherman says, there's no way you can tell me Joker is better than Embiid. All we got to do is watch. Where would a lot of these guys be if defense was allowed to be played? Take the handcuffs off. They let the guys play tonight when they had 5 fouls. So Ant-Man, I think Ant-Man might have fouled PJ Washington. They let him play because he was on 5 fouls, or it was a 4.5 fouls, or whatever he had. And then Gobert jumped with about three different layups, and you're allowed to jump straight up, but he still had a lot of body contact, which could have been a foul call. Now Cat's fouls, he just dumb. He just do stupid stuff. His fouls are just dumb. I agree. Joker and Embiid is better than Joker when he's healthy. Joker has availability on his side. He's always available. He's always playing. Embiid is not. And I got to live with that because he's on my team. Ronnie Sauce, here he comes. Changing illegal defense to defensive 3 seconds saved Euro players by making the game perimeter based with a zillion screens to help players get to the basket. So in a lot of ways, the NBA, I'm not sure who did it first, NFL or NBA, wants the game to be more fan-friendly with more scoring, so you take away defensive advantages. So now you can score at will. If your point guard has the ball, or if your point forward or your center point, like Joker, has the ball 75% of the time, those numbers will shoot up and they'll have 35 points a game, 12 rebounds, 15 assists. Max said, what is a travel? I don't know anymore. I showed that video last week of the guy who explained the gather, where you can step through, step back, do one long triple jump and not put the other foot down and then put it down, and then that becomes your pivot foot and then you can lay it up. I mean, I don't know what a travel is anymore. But I know one thing, if you do that mess during a game at LA Fitness, it's ball up. Travel. If the refs called every violation, games would be boring as the 90s basketball when teams would barely get 90 points. Because there's a foul on every play. It's like holding in football. MVP? That's saying a lot. He might be their most valuable role player. It's going to be Luka or Kyrie. And since Kyrie didn't play well tonight, There you go. It inflates offensive numbers, and that's what people want to see. How many people scored 70 points this season? Was it Embiid, Booker, Cat? Who else scored 70? Did somebody try to score 80 points on Kobe Day? Ridiculous, man. All right, switching gears. NBA is in full swing. We got Game 5 in 2 days. Buckle up. High school track and field. All right, Mac, man, this is me and you. High school track and field. My Jackrabbits bring home the chip, and it was a Long Beach thing. The boys team won the state championship, while the Long Beach Wilson girls won the state championship. Shout out to Coach Nelson over at Wilson, or Nelson at Wilson, and shout out to the homegirl Crystal Irving, Doc Moye, and all the coaches at Long Beach Poly and all the student athletes for bringing home the coveted California State Championships Division I. The teams from all over the state of California were out in Buchanan, and it's always, commonplace for the Rabbits to be in contention. Now the girls team just came up short. They got DQ'd in the 4x4. I believe a lane violation, illegal handoff out of the zone. So it wasn't like they dropped the baton. Just, it's a lot of commotion down there. But they were led by Zyrix, who ran a 46.79 in a quarter to win the 400 meters in his senior season before he attends Georgia University on a track scholarship. Congratulations to him. The 4x4 led by a bunch of freshmen, including Ben Harris, who ran a 10.5.6 as a freshman, who placed in the 100 meters with some valuable points. Julius Johnson ran a 21.6, another freshman at Long Beach Poly. So when Poly's football team gets this type of speed, look out. The team won with 33 points. So the thing about winning state, if you have 3 standout kids that can score in the top 3 and you can get 30 points, you got 2 relays. All you have to do is place in those relays and you have enough points to win state. It was a formula we learned back when Dawn Norfolk used to break it down for us, what we need to do to win state. You got to have at least 2 first place winners, maybe 3 placers, and 2 relays. If you don't have those 4 things, it's going to be tough. So Poly out duels Clovis and Wilson. Clovis had 28 points, Wilson had 27, so they came up just short. This was Poly's 10th state championship in track and field, and the first one since 2011. Good job, Jackrabbits. The 4x4 came in second place with 313, and the 4x1 came in second place as well with a 40.8. Not too shabby. And the other side of the street, the Wilson girls, who won their second straight state championship, led by Brooke Blue, who won the 400 meters, and Lauren Webster, who won the long jump with 20 feet, 5 inches and a quarter. She beat a lot of boys with that jump. You got 2 champions. That's 20 points easy. And then you got the relays. So that's how Wilson is bringing home these state championships. It's a formula, man. And these are young. Brooke Blues, it was sophomore. I'm not sure what Lauren Webster is, but she's also, I believe she's young as well. And the Poly girls ran a 45.7 in the 4x1, just edging out Wilson's girls 46.6. So the state championships in track and field, it's been a crazy year. One of the most impressive things I saw was a football player from South Carolina who ran a 10-1, and he was a defensive end. And I'm like, what is going on? I believe it was his name, Nick Harbor. We saw him run in high school. It was ugly watching him run a 10-5 as big as he was. But now he had some form, got some coaching, and he ran a 10-100 and a 20.2 200 at 6'4", 250. Somebody said check his pee. Is that man on the juice? I think that man just got the it. He has it. He's a crazy athlete at South Carolina, so look out for Nick Harbor. Incredible time for a man that size. Going to the comments, Sherman said, PJ is the difference. The others are doing what we already know. I get that, but the MVP? So you're trying to say he's going to be, what's the guy's name from the Golden State Warriors who guarded LeBron James when his Golden State Warriors beat was it Cleveland that year? Somebody help me out. Bring back bad boy defense. I think they're letting guys play for the most part. The playoffs are a lot more intense and some defense is being played. I get the whole scoring thing brings more viewers, but then just admit you're adjusting the rules so the classic basketball fans just don't scream to the clouds. I don't think the NBA is ever going to show its hand. The NBA is just below the shield when it comes to protecting the brand. Appreciate that, Big Sherman. Congratulations, Wilson, as well. Nick Harbor now plays wide receiver from defensive end to wide receiver. I guess you got to give him the ball if he's that fast. You have to. 10-1. He must have hamstrings from heaven. That is unreal. All right, man. WNBA. Now, me and Mac typically talk about WNBA on Thursday. But I'm going to set it up for Thursday. Are we seeing Bounty Gate? Like, what is going on in the WNBA? I got some video. And y'all know I'm an Angel Reese fan. She is getting destroyed out there. Is it Alyssa Thompson putting all kind of hands on? I mean, just watch. And shout out to Angel Reese for taking it. She's getting elbowed and pushed. She's getting pushed around. I mean, it is bully ball going on out there. And then let's watch down in the paint. Let's watch the paint. Let's watch down in the paint. Number 25. Elbow her in the back of the head. Fall on top of her. Rough house tactics. Walk around her. Intimidate her. Now, you do see the difference, though. Remember in college when Angel Reese would bully the girls? She ain't bullying no more. She's getting bullied. Not that it's good, but you see it happening. She's getting all she can handle in this matchup. Just watch the paint. Box out, rebound, hip, push. I mean, that's a veteran move. I've done that move before. You hip push somebody as they're in the air. She gets up slow. The bullying doesn't stop there. It's about to get worse. You come in here, don't come in here lightweight, by the throat. At this point, it's personal. Alyssa Thomas is a straight up bully. And she don't care. Hip, get out of here. Knock her eyelash off. Here we go. Box out, slam down, walk away. That looks like a player who has made up her mind that I'm tired of this chick getting all the shine and us veterans looking like we haven't been here all this time. It really is sad. I wasn't going to side with Chuck and that the women are being petty and doing this to the young girls is bad for the game. But when you see it done as blatantly as this, they eject Thomas, and she thinks, of course, is premature, but it's very evident. And not only is Caitlin Clark a target, but the Chi-Town Barbie was basically beat up by Lisa Thomas all night long. Max says the Sparks won tonight. Yes, those women play cell block bully ball. it's more physical than the NBA. Now, what if they let them play? What would happen? Where I said this is a great rookie class for the WNBA. So, what's happening to our rookie class? They're getting introduced to some grown women. Is it fair? Is it cool? Is it good for the game? Sherman said it's classless. Or is it the way it is? Them are some full-grown women. I mean, Alyssa Thomas is a big woman. Strong woman. This is a Maryland thing. Angel left Maryland, and Thomas is a Maryland grad. Oh, Mac. That explains it all. Oh, man, it's more. And that's what's going to make the WNBA pop. That's going to make the league pop. Now we got a rivalry built in every time they play. Alyssa Thomas versus Angel Reese is going to be a dog fight. And when Angel Reese finally gets some bass in her voice and comes with that boom, we'll see her fight back. Not that I want to see a fight, but I do want to see some competition. I don't want to see her just falling down, trying to find her eyelashes off the ground. I want to see a real back and forth. Kudos to her for just standing under it. She was at the press conference, and I just became a serious Angel Reese fan when she said, "That's just basketball. I'm not going to complain about it. I'm not going to cry about it. She's a strong player, tough player." And she didn't say, what about me? They're hitting me. These ladies have been playing like this in the W. Chuck is just now tuning in. Go watch the Women's Drew League. They are monsters. I'm going to take your word for it, man. Now, is Caitlin Clark getting the same treatment? I believe so. I have a clip of that, too. We saw her get clothesline last week by Stewie. Caitlin Clark, I got a couple clips of her getting fouled pretty hard. All right, so we got Caitlin Clark with the ball. Has he, goes to layup, comes across, takes one to the head. Now she does the soccer roll. Nobody cares. Yeah, this is the WNBA. These elbows are sharp. You coming in here as the savior of the league, and I don't think everybody's on board. I have another clip. Caitlin Clark, has he? Nice little ranked job from the champion Aces. She's going to have to wear goggles before it's over with. Coming to the rack. This ain't Iowa. Ball and head. Should the WNBA step in and say, take it easy on our rookies? We want them to stay. The Aces are the champs, man. And Asia Wilson. So it's going down, man. They got a product right now. If they do a good job marketing and giving us those tidbits like Mac just did. Maryland rivalry. She left the nest. Sherwin said, I don't agree with Chuck. They need to continue to play hard. Rubio said, jealousy is a stinky cologne on some. Not a sweet smelling cologne like Carrot Top or the young man from Was that young man what was he, a UFC fighter, Rubio, that you had a man crush on because he had the sweetest smelling musk? The sweet smelling musk. Cameron Brink was trying to go hard at Asia Wilson, but they didn't show the highlights. Cameron Brink, the rookie out of Stanford, was going hard at the MVP. Can we see the entire game on YouTube? Why can't we see that? Why didn't we see Asia Wilson versus Cameron Brink? Like, why isn't that more publicized? We need to be on the marketing team, guys. We know more about marketing these games than the actual people who are getting paid to do it. I want to see that. McMahon said, women's sports are always more aggressive. And don't be a rookie. Remember, Candace Parker had a few fist fights her rookie season, and Candace Parker went down as one of the best basketball players in women's basketball history because she didn't back down. I'm waiting to see Angel Reese buck up to one of these bullies. I ain't saying she got to punch the girl and break her hand, but you're going to have to do something. You just can't take all this foolywang. At some point, you got to get mad. Once the block shot occurs before contact, there's no foul. Play on. Even if she raked her across her face, man, that's cold. Brink talks the most trash of this rookie class. Well, that's that Stanford. That's that Stanford privilege. Stanford folks think they're a little better than everybody else. That's the only knock I had on Stanford folks. They had that built-in arrogance. So is it petty for the veterans to attack the rookies, or is that just how it is? It's part of the game. It's your introduction to the game. Who busted your tail when you got to the league? Well, I'm pretty sure Angel Reese is going to say, Alyssa Thomas was my welcome to the league moment when she threw me down by my throat. That's wild, man. That's wild. Some of these women also have relationship issues going on as well. So these women play for pride and love. Are they attacking the pretty girls too? Like, are they attacking the girls who have boyfriends? The mannish women who are going against the girly women? Is that what we're seeing? I'm not going to use any of the terms that will get me canceled, but you all know what I'm saying. I heard there's an issue with the Chi-Town Barbie and the Iowa Hawkeye, who both have boyfriends and are girly girls. They be playing against their exes. Oh my God. What? Wow. I never thought about that part. I'm thinking you're not allowed to date the cheerleaders. You can't date the other players. No, you can. And then y'all have relationship issues. Now you mad. Because that's the person you used to be with. And now she with the other one. See, God don't like ugly. It was written. Your whole style was bitten. Soccer player and I would buy his musk by the hour. His name, he was a soccer player. I wish my nostrils were bigger when I am around that dude. We met this guy at the Super Bowl. One of the last people we interviewed during our Super Bowl situation, our week-long situation at the Super Bowl, being big timed and all kind of craziness happening. Had a good time. We interviewed a soccer player. Rubio and I had the biggest man crush on this dude. He smelled like nothing I've ever smelled before. Rubio followed this dude all the way down Radio Row. He's like, "What is that you're wearing? What is that smell? Get in my nose." And I was like, I said, well, shoot, Carrot Top smelled good too. Carrot Top had on something. It smelled like Bed Bath and Beyond. He smelled like vanilla custard or something crazy, man. Happy Boy says, "Stop it. We are a He-Man woman haters club. We don't do that. We don't mess around like that. It's Adam and Eve, not Adam and Steve." Everyone forgets how much Brittany Griner used to fight at Baylor and how much contact she received when she first entered the WNBA. Well, Brittany Griner now sounds like me. Y'all better stop all that fouling. That's going to be a problem. But if the voice that deep, you got to stop fouling her. Brittany Griner is rugged, man. All right, man. Let me switch gears one more time. The Bruin family lost a legend. Bill Walton, the big redhead, passed away at the age of 71. Hall of Famer, became a star broadcaster, passed from cancer this week. He was the NBA's MVP, 77 and 78. He's a two-time champion, a member of both NBA's 50th anniversary teams and 75th anniversary teams. His college career at UCLA, he was a two-time champion. I don't think he lost a game. And a three-time National Player of the Year. He didn't lose a game for like 5 years, from middle school, middle of his junior year of high school, to the middle of his senior year at UCLA. He is one of only 4 players in the history of basketball to have won multiple college championships and NBA championships. He went undefeated twice at UCLA. He was number 1 pick overall. He won a National Basketball Association title with Portland Trail Blazers and the Boston Celtics. With multiple Emmy Awards as a broadcaster, he was named to the top 50 sports broadcasters of all time. He even made it into the Grateful Dead Hall of Fame. He did all this battling a stutter, overcame that, became one of the best broadcasters, most intriguing broadcasters. You would never see him wearing a suit and tie. Was always called a hippie for his wild style, wild red hair. Shout out to the big redhead. With your Mac. One of the greats. Cancer sucks, man. That's why I pray for you guys, man. Pray for your health. Pray that we all have the courage to go to the doctor once a year, or however long your appointments might be. But I recently went, thanks to Miss Mac, who gave me that pressure to go. My man Tim Hood, who pressured me to go. I'm all good. So far, so good. Drinking my water. Trying my best not to live a fast life, live a slow life, live a safe life. Wrapping up, I'm in Vegas with my son. He's finishing up his training before fall camp for football. And we lucked up as we're here working out with Coach Va at the Game Changers in Las Vegas, Nevada. AEW came to town. And I told you how bad my hotel was on the 1585 show. Staying at the trashiest hotel in Vegas, the Oyo, where it got worse. The elevators broke, so I had to take the stairs a few times, up 8 floors. I did change my room after a while. Talking to about 3 different managers about my room rate, what happened. But we were able to see some of the best talent that AEW has to offer. So we jumped on some tickets, got to see Swerve come out.
In life,
And my son was hipping me to the whole story about how Swerve rose from nowhere to become the champion. And he asked me to record the entrance because his phone was about to die. But if nothing else, we were entertained. They get to this part. The manager guy comes out like it's Warriors. And I'm waiting for the beat to drop. Whose house? Swerve's house. My first time hearing that. So Swerve Strickland comes out. Looks like an outside linebacker. But that beat drop, and his manager started getting it. I said, hey. It was the best money spent. I mean, no regrets. I mean, it was a packed MGM arena. I swerve when I drive. And then, he got in there versus old Christian. I mean, it was entertaining, man. And we got to see some other guys wrestle. I mean, I got to see old Edge from WWE go on the top of the steel cage. And I'm like, didn't he recover from a broken neck? Like, what is he doing on top of a steel cage? And he, of course, goes feet first on barbed wire. And I should be able to show it because I filmed it with my own phone. I didn't take it from their broadcast. So hopefully I don't get flagged for it. If so, I'm going to keep taking it down every 10 seconds so they won't trip off me. We saw Sasha Banks, but she's Mercedes Moné in this. And she's not too far from us, maybe 50 feet from us. And she acting like she injured, but she got her win. She won the belt from Willow Nightingale. It was a cool little match, but in real life, I think the big girl would have smashed her. I mean, she outweighed Monet by a good 100 pounds. I mean, if Monet is 115 pounds, Willow is a good 220. And you do the math, big girls rule at the end of the day. But it was still entertaining nonetheless. Rubio's other boyfriend was there from the acclaimed Scissors Me Timbers. He said, "Scissor me, daddy." And I said, "Oh, that's the guy we interviewed." My son got a kick out of that. I said, he's a cool guy. He said he was the first. He's not the first, but he's known as the openly gay wrestler. And nobody even cares. Just wrestle, man. We don't care. So his move is scissor me. So it's disgusting. What else we see out there? We saw the formerly known as Daniel Bryan had a crazy match, and he came out and gave everybody dap. He came and gave us our handshakes. My son got to shake one of his idol's hands. It was a good event. It wasn't that expensive. We had a great time. He took time to sign autographs. The two kids that were sitting next to us got a selfie with him. And if you don't know who that is, that's the guy who used to say yes, yes, yes to everything he did. Daniel Bryan now is Bryan Danielson. But the AEW, they had the craziest four-way match. What was it, four-way match? It was called Anarchy. And there was a scene where dude brings a flamethrower out. And he brings the flamethrower out and lights his boy on fire. And I'm like, what in the world? I mean, it was going down at the AEW. I mean, I've been to several wrestling events. WWF, WWE, but I ain't never seen anybody get lit. He had on fireman pants though. They made it seem like he was truly getting burned because he laid down for a good 15 minutes after he got burned like that. But the fact that they went that far, they had wrestling matches happening all over the arena. So it was really crazy. And they were all wrestling next to fans. Fans were just, right there being able to touch their favorite wrestler. It's a really good product. Some really good wrestling going on. Moxley, who was formerly, a WWE guy. There was some good wrestling going on. And it was very reasonable. We went both days. The first day was what? $18. The second day was what? $50. You really couldn't beat it for that price. So we had a good time. I'm glad my son got to have some fun while he's training before training camp begins June 3rd for the San Jose State Spartans. He's out here training with some guys in his conference, some San Diego State Aztecs, some New Mexico State Wolfpack guys, the Aggies, the other team, and some USC Trojans are out here. So I had to deal with that, but it's all good. They're all kids getting better, working hard, and I'm glad my son's a worker. He's going to get rewarded for his hard work, and I better get rewarded on Father's Day for my hard work and dedication and sacrifice. All right, man, that's my show. I appreciate y'all hanging out with your boy. Make sure you tune in to the Rubio Method. I believe you can catch him on YouTube and Facebook. I believe he's airing every Tuesday, but he's on the road with the Rubio long snapping camps. We also have the Collective Podcast on Saturday morning, 8 a.m. I'm not sure why them guys go so early in the morning. I believe because CNQ AC from LA has to go ref games, and SG Trilogy is cool with that. I can't get up. I try to get up and support. It's too early, man. Got the Time Is Now podcast on all your listening platforms. I'm waiting to see the Sucker Punch podcast return real soon. And the 1585 show Thursday at 9 p.m. right here on all your social media platforms. Please share. Please subscribe. Please like. Please follow. All that good stuff. Share it, man. And we will definitely appreciate your due diligence. All right, man. I'm AC. This is AC Sports Live. I appreciate you guys hanging out with me. I'll see y'all next time. Peace and blessings. I'm out.